follow-up could be like, I went to Blockbuster. You know, like, I went on vacation to Disney. Like, that's my follow-up, you know what I mean? So I started thinking abstractly, which is silly. But then I also started to think, I was like, well, what if it's a book? What if it's a movie? What if it's this? And then I was like, well, what if it's just a different band? Because I feel like people have this pitfall of, you go into the studio to reinvent yourself. You destroy everything you did in the past. You burn it all down to make something new and change the perspective of the things that you create. And then you come out of the studio with this thing you're really proud of, and everybody's like, oh, it doesn't sound like that band anymore. And you're like, no shit, it's different. You know what I mean? So I was like, but if it's my name in front of it, I can always change the band name, and it can be anything I want it to be. So every record is going to be, if it's going to sound different, it's going to be a different band. And so then I went back and I was like, all right, well, I named the band Celebration the first time because I needed something to distract from, is that a sweet tattoo? Very nice. I needed something to distract from like my awkwardness and my perceived inability to be a frontman. I was like, if I bring this party with me, then no one will notice that I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, no one's looking at you, right?
Yeah. So that was that. Then 2 years later, I was like, all right, what do I need in my life at this point? What do I need in this project? And I started to think about how fast time goes by and how all those cliches of like, you know, in a blink of an eye, like, you know, things are different and kids grow up and things change. And those things are cliched because they're true. Like, people say all that stuff all the time. You hear it so much, you're like, oh, stop saying that, I know, whatever. But it's true, that's why people say it. And so,
you're listening out there.
yes.
It'll be over before you know it.
Yeah. So if there's one thing that I could carry through that I need with me at all times is the virtue of patience, and to be able to, you know, take a step back and look around and appreciate where I am in the now.
I think we can all learn from that. The album was produced by a powerhouse producer, Mr. Ross Robinson. Without insulting anybody's intelligence in the room, if you're not familiar with his work, he was, I guess, responsible for nu metal to begin with, Korn, Slipknot, Limp Bizkit, bands like that. Then he went on to have, I guess, a kind of a defining influence over post-hardcore, At the Drive-In, Glassjaw, Amen, etc. He's done a lot of incredible stuff, and I guess with Ross comes this reputation of unique working methods, let's put it like that.
Yeah.
He's intense, right? He puts you through your paces. I wonder if you could both jump in on this one and just tell us a little bit about what making this record was like, what working with Ross Robinson was like.
You want to start, Ev?
It was mayhem. The whole time, it was just mayhem. Like, unlike anything that I've ever been through, I know it's the same for Frank, it's been, you know, we've never dealt with a person like this, probably never met a single person like this ever. Like, literally, like, you'd be like, okay, like, let me see what you got. Go through, like, play what you're gonna play. And then halfway through that, anything that was close to him, if it was water bottles, pistachios, anything, he just throws it at you, takes all your picks, throws it at you, starts turning your knobs on your guitar, and you're like, do I keep playing? Like, what's happening? Like, what?
Are you enjoying this?
Yeah, exactly. Do I suck? Is that why you're throwing shit at me? Like, what's happening right now? But yeah, it's all just like part of the process. Like, what he kept saying is like, he loves the mistakes. Like, the more mistakes you could make throughout the record, like, the better, because that's like what makes it unique, you know, like, it's not perfect. And like, anything, you know, like, even there are times like where like, you're trying to sing along to it and you're not hitting like the right notes. He's like, you know, that's supposed to be in the song. That's, you know, what is supposed to be captured. It's the emotion that's coming through you, not just like perfection. So
it's real, right?
Yes, exactly.
Warts and all.
Yeah. All the folklore that surrounds Ross, and like all these stories that, I mean, if you use your Google machine, you can find out like crazy stories about Ross Robinson. I heard a bunch, and I was like, it scared the crap out of me. I'm like, I love his records. The mystique around them sounds so interesting, but how could I put myself through that? You know? And for years I thought that. I mean, ever since I heard Relationship to Command, like, you know, I mean, also too, like, you know, I was in high school in the '90s, like, you know, I can see I'm going blind, like, I was there, you know. So I've been a fan for a very long time, and I was like, I always like would try to cross that line and then get too scared going back. And then these songs came about, and I was like, I owe it. These songs are demanding to be pushed to an edge, and if I don't if I don't go, if I'm too scared to take that step, then I'm doing a disservice to everything that I just made. And so the funny thing is that I actually ended up talking to Cody Ballato, who, I don't know if anybody knows him, but he's an amazing guitarist, and he plays in, he played in the Blood Brothers, and he played in Head Automatic, what do you call him? Headroom City, and a million other bands, and he's a really rad kid, and he works with Russ all the time, and so I talked to him on the phone. He talked to me for like 45 minutes about Russ, and he was like, all right, the main thing that you need to know is like, if you want to delve into the things that you're making and what you're writing, and learn really truly what it's all about, and dig deeper than you've ever dug before, then Ross is the person to make a record with. If you just want it to sound cool and just want to kind of keep on the surface, which is nothing wrong with that, but like if that's what you want, then don't call Ross. And so I was like, okay. So I called Ross, and just so happens that Steve Ebbets was free the week that we had booked too, and that's, for me at least, is like this dream team. I mean, Steve did Lifetime and Saves the Day and all these bands, and together they did Relationship Command, they did The Cure, they did, amazing records. They worked so well together. So here's the underlying thing is, no matter what story I heard and who I talked to and stuff like that, none of it prepared me for what actually happened in that studio. And I cried every day. No, stop with the all. No, seriously. It was like.
She fainted.
Is she all right?
Need water?
She didn't like the show. It's fine, you can't win them all.
That's how I felt every day. I went to the doctor twice and had like steroid injections just so I could sing. It was the most depleting and gut-wrenching, heartbreaking yet inspiring and like uplifting experience of my entire life. Unbelievable. I've always come from a long line of thinking that you have to beat yourself up and drag yourself down in order to build yourself back up, kind of thing. I don't know if this is just like an East Coast thing, but tell me if I'm wrong. I've always been taught, unfortunately, and done it to myself, this self-deprecation where you're like, I'm not good enough, I need to get better, I need to play harder, I need to learn more, I need to, I need to look better, I need to, all these things. It's like, you're no good so that you can eventually try to get good. And then when you hit that goal, sometimes you still hate yourself because all the whole time you've just been telling yourself all these awful things. But with Ross, it was different. It was, no, what you do is fantastic, and you're the best you that you can be. You might not know it yet, but I want to show you how great you are, and let's do this together. And it was amazing. It was like this weird epiphany. It was like where it's like
Leave it in.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's real.
It's real, exactly. And I never knew that you could build up a person without having to break them down, like just through positivity, and that's amazing. And yes, he did throw shit at me, but it was all in a real positive way.
The title itself, Parachutes, what's the metaphor there? What's that alluding to, and how does it reflect, I guess, the overriding themes that are on this record?
Well, I started to think a lot about, I don't know if this is just because I'm getting older now, I have kids and stuff, I start to think about everything and overthink things, but I started to think about just life in general, and what it means, and how we're all just kind of careening through space and falling at this high velocity, and that it's kind of the same thing as just jumping out of a plane. Like we start as nothing, and we go as fast as we can, and eventually we just hit the ground and it's all over. And some of us, it's over like that, in a blink of an eye. And some of us, if we're lucky, find these things that bring us joy, or the things that show us what true love is. And we get to hang out with that for a little while, and we get to hover, and we get to appreciate the fall, where there's no putting off the fall. We're all going to hit the ground, but some of us can enjoy it for a little while, and if that's the case, then these things that save us, that cushion that blow, are our parachutes. And so for me, I thought about my family and my kids, and I thought about just art and music and these things that allow me to kind of forget about the impending danger, doom, and all the dumb shit that comes along with being an adult and all that stuff, and you just kind of sit there and enjoy the ride for a little bit. And on the first record, you know, all these songs were synonymous with feeling sick to my stomach and wanting to die. And those, like, I can pinpoint every song to a stomach ache. But on this record, every song I could pinpoint to like a life-changing or life-saving event. And so, where I had stomach aches on the last one, I have 12 parachutes on this one.
I've never known a man receive so many R's in such a short space of time. Speaking of time, it is tight, so I'm going to throw it out to you now. There's already a lot of hands. Put your hand down if your question's not that good. Well, you've kind of had one because I asked what you were going to ask anyway, and you're next to each other, and you've got the best row. I want to open up to more people at the back who are. We might come to you if we've got time. Let's go with the girl here with the glasses. Can you project your voice, or should we send this microphone down?
Yeah, you.
Should have put your hand down.
I had a baby a few weeks ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And I just wanted to know how you deal with being away from your children and your family and I hope that doesn't, I'm sorry, I hope that doesn't.
No. Yeah, it's not easy. You know, I spent a long time thinking that I had to, like, there was real life, and then there was this other thing that I did, and it was, you know, I went out on tour and I wrote songs and all that shit, and that wasn't real life. That was just the thing that I did, you know. And then I started to realize, like, as much as I tried to separate them, like, the harder I tried, the more intertwined they became. And I feel like now, maybe I'm a little bit older and wiser, but maybe not. I've realized that that side of me, that creative side, is so embedded in my DNA that it's not just what I do, it's who I am. And in order to be the person, the dad, the husband that I want to be, or the husband that my wife I know fell in love with, and the dad that I know my kids, like, you know, look up to or appreciate, you know, I need to satiate that creative side. I need to feed that creative side, and they, you know, are rad as hell, so they understand that goes along, that this goes along with it. And as much as we miss each other, I wouldn't be the person that they want in their life if I didn't do it. So, you know, it kind of goes hand in hand with what we were talking about, like long-term, like long-distance relationships and stuff like that. Like, my wife and I, we met a long time ago. We've been together for a very long time, and we knew immediately that, you know, we were just kind of meant to be together. It's like, it's not one of those cliche things, but it's actually, no, stop it.
No more R's. It's wasting time. That could have been a question, that R.
When that happens, you realize that even though you have to be apart at times, that hardship is easier to deal with than not having that person in your life at all. And so, like, you let the little things go. You know, like, well, am I really gonna get pissed off that this person left socks on the floor because, like, it's gonna end everything? Like, I'm gonna throw everything away because of the socks? Like, no. You know, so that's the thing too, is like, yes, I'm away a lot. Yes, I'm preoccupied with making crazy things in my basement and songs and screaming to all hours of the night. But in order, you know, to be the person that we love, you know, we allow these other things. So, yeah, no problem.
Let's see some hands. Oh, you might be a bit too far back. Let's go with the girl with the blonde hair there, you.
Thank you.
What's your favourite song, Parachutes, and why?
Oh man, yeah. My favorite song on Parachutes. It's weird. It sounds stupid, but like, I don't think I've ever been as proud of an entire record that I've had a hand in than I am of this one. I feel like, you know, I wrote like 18 songs, and Ross was like, no, there's no way, you have to do 10. And I was like, can we do 12? And he was like, all right. So, and then when we got to 12, for the life of me, I couldn't cut anything out of it. You know, I felt like it all had this purpose. You know, there's a song on there though that I think was probably the hardest song I ever wrote in my entire life, and it's a song. It's the end of the record. It's a song called September 6th. And what's that? Oh, that's awesome.
That's actually what the song's about.
That song, that's rad. That's awesome. I wrote the song. It was the worst day of my life. But sorry, no. Here's the thing. I was the holder. You know what I mean? It's awesome. But yeah. So I wrote I love the song a lot, but I don't know if I'll ever be able to touch it ever again once it's been finished. And we've tried a couple of times to practice stuff like that. It's just like, whew, it's real hard. But it might be my favorite song on the record.
What's your favourite song on the record, Evan?
That's a tough call as well. I love the song Mess that we just released. Like, it's up there for me as one of my favorite songs. It was also, I think, possibly like the second song that we wrote for the record.
Which is funny because when we were writing all those songs, we were like, this is the worst one.
Yeah, exactly. It was like the least one that, like the least, like kind of feel. But then like the more that we played it and just like the more just listening to the lyrics and just the energy of the song, like I feel like it just has like this life that, like a lot of people can relate to. And like the song just like, especially being able to play it, like it's one thing listening to something, but then like actually like being a part of like that driving force of the song, like it just has this life. And it's like as soon as like we start playing that song, it's like I'm like not, it's like weird to say, but it's like you're like not in your body at that point anymore, like the song is just like what you are. And it's like I don't know, that was really fun. I like playing that a lot.
I think that's why like people who do what we do get so fucking addicted to it, is because you have those out of body experiences. It's like when you get up here, everything goes away, and it's like you're watching a movie or something. It's like, I don't know, it's such a crazy drug. There it is. I don't know. Next question.
Remember where we are, Frank.
I know.
We're in church. Anyone over here got a question? You.
How did you get out of that pit of hating yourself?
That's a very good question. Here's the thing, right? There's no right answer to that. But I came to a really important realization during this record. One of the things that Ross and I would talk about, and everybody in the room would talk about, was it's one of his favorite things. Was, what's the worst thing that happened to you? And you'd be like, oh my God, and discuss an occurrence that maybe made a horrible impression on you, and felt like it felt like the world ended. And then the secondary question would be, all right, well, how do you feel about where you are right now and what you have? And your family around you and the things that you do, the things that you make, or what you're doing right, these songs that you're making. And it was like, wow, I really love what I'm doing right now. And I love, who's around me, because, I don't know what I would do without them. And then the third question was, would you change anything? Because if you change something, then you wouldn't be where you are. And then, so it's like, all right, well, if question 2 is, yes, I do love these people around me, then question 3 would be like, no, I wouldn't change that. And then the fourth realization comes, it's, well, did that terrible thing that happened to you, was it in fact actually the best thing that happened to you? Because it taught you something. And sometimes it's not about, getting knocked down, it's about, learning how to get back up and taking power from these horrible things. And then if that's true, then maybe things don't happen to us, they happen for us. And if you think about it in that way, some of the greatest things that could ever happen are like the pain, and you all right?
Do you want to make some space? Is there anyone? John Tolley's on the case. You okay?
Sorry, guys. So I guess there's no real answer to that question, right? Because ultimately it's subjective. But if you can take a step back and realize that, you know, good and bad, love and hate, all of these emotions, all these things, this pain and joy, like they're all really the same thing if you look at it in a different light, you know. And you can, if you want to, take that pain and that hurt and use it as fuel in a positive way. So, but that's you know, one of the things is this life that we have, like all of us, this life that we're living is fucking yours if you want it. You just gotta take it. So.
Frank Iero, dropping the truth bomb. You here, and then we're going to end with you at the front, and then that's sadly it for the questions. Then what we're going to do is the photo that I said, so as soon as we've done the Q&A, let's bring it in down the middle, take a shot, and then we're going to exit through the back door there, and as I said, you'll all get one of these awesome little parachute postcards that Frank and Evan are going to sign. I can't get it out of my pocket, it doesn't matter. You'll see yours later.
What are your vocal warm-up exercises like?
Oh, Jamie Wiggins. Did anybody hear them? No? Somebody did?
Do one now.
Oh man. Oh my God. It's I can't. It's like this recording. Actually, I went to a vocal coach before we started touring on Stomach Aches, and I was like, if I have to sing or I don't know how to sing. What am I gonna do? So I was like, how do you work this instrument that you can't see? Like, and so she, you know, we went over some exercises and stuff like that, and she's like, you have to warm up, and you know, I spent a long time being like, oh, that's so dumb, like no way. I remember making fun of like singers like, nice job, man. Like, but it's so silly because I mean, how do you expect to get better if you don't do that kind of thing? And then once I started doing it, like I was very, very, you know, self-conscious about it. I would go like hide in the room and go. And now I love it, man. I'll take Jamie Wiggins with me anyway. I'll be in a cab. The guy will be like driving something like la 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 la. The guy's like, what is going on back there?
It's especially amazing when we're over here because it's like some of the cab drivers don't really speak English that well. So like we get into the cab and like, you know, he doesn't like just looking at us like who knows what he thinks.
Like, oh, they love this song.
Yeah, exactly. And then we just start belting out these vocal warm-ups the whole cab ride. It's like
it's a great thing too about our vocal warm-up is it's this guy Jimmy Winston again, and you'll be doing it, and then through the recording he goes, no, start over, and then I'll go like, you're doing great. It's really strange. I don't know.
Okay, the last question over here.
How are your dogs?
Save the big stuff for last.
Very nice. Thank you. Been waiting all night for that. No, they're doing good. We're down to 6. And what do you think happens? I know. But here's the thing. Sweet Bee is still killing it. Still killing it. We have no idea what she is or how old she is or anything like that. Huh? Yeah. Last year I lost a year too. Oh, you're the best. Thank you. Everybody, Cara. Yeah, they're amazing, man. It's crazy. They're getting so old though. Like their faces are white, and sometimes they get up and like they just have like one leg out, like for an hour. Like, what are you doing? It's strange, but I don't know. Did you guys know she's been like like she really wants another dog? Yeah, you're a bad influence.
Well, there was one. It was somehow they had stumbled upon this dog like on the internet.
Somebody sent it to me over Twitter.
Yeah, it was like literally Sweet Pea's twin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But she I think it was somewhere out either in LA or somewhere outside of LA, like at a dog shelter, and like they put up like almost like a pre-ad for her, just like, oh hey, we just got this dog, but it just went into surgery, so it's not available for adoption, but you know, like we'll put it back up like once, you know, it recovers from the surgery. And then like we never saw anything about it again, but it was like we kept saying, we're like, that is the dog that we have to get.
means ever.
I know. I'm like, well, hopefully, I still have hopes. I still have hopes.
All right, let's hear a round of applause one more time for Frank and Evan. Let's get this photo done. Let's rock this.